do anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a TruthENTFilms.com presentation. We are aware, awoke, alive. We exist to bring you a fresh perspective on today's hot button issues. This is the Triple A Podcast with your hosts, Tia McCrary and Jamar B.V. Harris.
Welcome to the Triple A Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Black V. My co-host Tia couldn't make it, but I'm still blessed with two amazing, beautiful guest co-hosts. I'm going to first start off introducing D Block, aka Doreen Block, a well-known community activist, not only a community activist, but she's amazing within dance and teaching and working with the youth, as well as not only that, she's an author and a mother, and so much more. So I want to welcome you, D Block, to AAA Podcast. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. That was a great introduction.
Hey, man, I just got to give the props where the props is due.
I just know mine's better be amazing.
The next up is my road dog, my Ace Boom Cool, the only person I ever seen while we was in high school knock a nigga out like it was nothing.
Okay.
I'm joking.
No way.
I'm joking. No, who's an intelligent, strong, hardworking, family-oriented, independent, driving entrepreneur, who also is the owner and the CEO of Roll Candy.
Yes.
And also one of the co-hosts of Queens with Attitude podcast. And also co-host of Deep Throat Conversations.
Yeah,
so she got a lot of titles under her belt, as well as just a genuine, dope, real individual who's not afraid to fight for what she believes in for the people she loves. I want to go ahead and send a shout out to
he went above and beyond. D Block.
You hyped him up. He got it.
Yeah. So welcome y'all both to the AAA Podcast. My co-host Tia couldn't make it. Sending love and prayers out to her. She's kind of going through some things right now without being too specific, but I want to ask all our listeners and viewers to please keep her in their prayers. Send your love and prayers to her out right now. And even Greg is probably praying for her, sending his love while he locked up down there in the Mexican prison and stuff like that, because he loves her too. Don't worry about that. Tia knows who I'm talking about.
Okay. That's the thug love.
That's the thug love. Yeah, she a ride or die. New Year and New Year's resolutions and so much. So what I want to say to ask my guests, and I'm gonna start off with you, Kiki, first, since I introduced D Block first. I'm gonna start off with you first. I don't even necessarily want your New Year's resolution, but what is something you definitely don't want to bring with you that you maybe done or did or had going on in 2022 and in 2023? What are you better yet, what are you definitely leaving behind in 2022?
I'm definitely leaving behind my unhealthy eating habits, because I'm in my 40s and it's time, if I want to last, I need to preserve this body. Procrastination, definitely leaving that in 2022. 2023 is time to take action. And just the self-love that I didn't have, that's not carrying over. It's all about self-love and elevating and being prosperous this year. And that's about it for me.
Amen. And D Block. What are we leaving behind in 2022 that cannot get on the plane on the ride over to 2023?
Listen, I made a post about it. One of my Dance Line girls, alumni, she posted it. I reposted it, and this is what I'm leaving behind. She said for the first 12 months of 2023, she is not giving out any money. She is not handing nothing out. And if you need it to borrow it till tomorrow, you need to wait till tomorrow, because I'm not going to be giving it. I don't know what it is. I don't think I carry myself like I'm the ATM. But when I tell you, baby, this whole year, I am not handing out. You can't borrow not 1 cent. I'm a single mother. I'm doing it by myself. I do not have anything extra. I am leaving that in 2022. That's what I'm leaving.
Okay.
Amen. I'm leaving behind procrastination. That's the goal, but that's been the goal every year. I need to write down who posted that, so I don't hit her up to borrow money from her because I know it's automatic no. Let me write that down. I'm definitely becoming more aggressive in goals. In pursuits. I always thought I was aggressive before. Kiki would tell you I was aggressive with trying to get her, to come and pie and mess with me. But even I'm aggressive to you too, D Block, for trying to get
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So I've learned that you have to be aggressive for what you want, but also within this, because it's a partnership that I have with so many other people. We're trying to make this happen. That I have to be respectful. So I'm learning balance in my life. I'm learning mental, emotional, physical balance. So I'm learning that. So I'm leaving unbalanced behind in 2023. In 2022. For 2023 is growth and it's balance and it's learning how to mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, in so many other ways, become better, become more responsible, become more dependable to those, what I'm saying? Because being a leader becomes great responsibility, and a leader is more or less people always look at the leader as a person who, with all the things, but I always looked at the leader as a person who makes the bigger sacrifices and gives the most, and is more of a servant to those that they have to lead. And so I want to be a better leader. Starting it off with, and we're going to jump into the news first, right? Because we're back, we're live. The news. In the news, have y'all heard about this BS going on right now with in the House of Representatives, where they probably on this? Did they pick Kevin McCarthy? They still going back and forth with it. Last I checked, as of today, they was like on 11th or 12th vote, and they still won't pick this dude.
Are you for him? Is that why you so hyped? What's going on?
No, I'm actually just okay. I love chaos, especially when crooked institutions are thrown in disarray and they have a lot of chaos going on. So I love chaos, and so seeing what's going on right now with them, with the Republican Party, who I'm not a Democrat or Republican, but seeing what's going on with them. Seeing how they're all in disarray, and the main thing is always going to still be Trump for now, and they pick sides, and then Trump has birthed these ulterior motive conspiracy theorists and just people who just want to be a politician for the simple fact that they just want to get up there and yell and be seen. So to me, I feel like you reap what you sow. And right now, the chickens have come home to roost in the Republican Party because they made a deal. I posted it on social media. I feel that the Republicans made a deal with the devil.
Okay.
And the debt has now come due, and they don't know how to pay it. Don't get me wrong. The Democrats do it all the time, too. But right now, I think Trump was the devil that they just wanted to win so bad, they just signed their name on a dotted line and said, we'll figure out how to pay that shit later on.
So you feel like it's a trickle-down effect?
Isn't that what they always try to work for and get, a trickle-down effect?
Yeah.
That's what they tell us. They're always trying to talk about Reagan and the way Reagan did it, which that's not how it actually worked and whatnot. But
you talking about Reaganomics?
Yeah. Yeah, what Reagan did, nah, bro. The truth is Reagan failed, and then they had to go back in there and change it. And based off of that, they had a little bit of success. But Reaganomics didn't really work how Reaganomics was set up to work. So, and I guess to put it in plain, simpler terms, and I'll ask you, D Block, is there a solution? Is there a fix to where our politics are? This is just the gauntlet we're stuck in.
I really hate talking about politics because I feel like people talk about politics from their pocket. Whatever, if you are a rich, I've seen a rich pastor talk about you need to vote Republican so you don't go to hell. I've seen the poor Democrat pastors. No, for real. Like they were passing out flyers and all kind of stuff. I was in Columbus, Ohio, and I was looking around like, is this what we doing? But and I knew then that that's how people vote for their pockets.
Yes.
And I currently work with some young people, and one of the young ladies said that she was for Trump because he gave us money because of all of those stimulus checks and things like that. And we got into a huge conversation. And I feel like people only read or glaze over the surface, and they never go in depth into what they need to go into. And if their pockets are lined with money, even if the politics and the system is corrupt, that's how they're going to vote.
They're okay
just as long as they can keep their pockets lined. I feel like that's how people vote.
Damn, does that not still speaking to the main topic? But I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let it be what it be. Kiki, I mean, and I know you. We don't have to go too deep into the political atmosphere of it, but how do you feel even about how Doreen just put it with the fact of what she's saying? Like,
I agree with her, but I feel that we are stuck with that. Like no matter how we vote, or especially us as a people being Black, no matter how we vote, it's like we're still 3/4 of a person. You know what I mean? We're not even all the way human. So it's like, yeah, as far as me, like, yeah, we're stuck in this corrupt. The government runs everything, and they always make something big. Like she said, the main topics that we need to be focusing on, we're not going to focus on them because they're going to come out and say, hey, Trump, call this guy a nigger or something like that. And now we're all outraged over that. And yeah, so I definitely agree with what she said, but I definitely agree that, yeah, we are stuck in this corrupt system. I don't think anything's going to change. It's going to take like a miracle, you know what I mean? A definite miracle for anything to change.
She said something though with them distraction tactics, because I really feel like they do that all of the time. That's something that could be a whole nother topic. Yes, them distraction tactics. All the time.
Well, we need to have you come back, and so we can definitely touch on these distraction topics and so much more. Next thing, and this may be a sore subject, and this may not be. I think we all look at this situation, this next thing, topic in the news, a lot different since the trial happened. Tory Lanez found guilty. I think in the beginning there was a small amount of people who was like, yo, I was one of those people like, yo, there's more to the story. This just doesn't add up right. Like there's just something off with it. What Meg was saying and the way Tory was acting, and before everything else happened, I was like, yo, but everybody, you know how everybody is. The hot thing is like, yo, he shot her, F that nigga, da-da-da-da-da, everything else like that, yo. And then when we get to Meg, they go back and forth from public opinion, and then Meg goes on Gayle King. And that seems like it all but sealed Tory's fate. She was like, no, we didn't have a sexual relationship, da-da-da-da-da, this, and this. And then we come to trial, and then we hearing these other things. We're like, oh, hell no. She went and lied, and he done lied, and then Kelsey done lied. And it's like everybody lying so much to the fact that I think everybody here felt like before they came up with the verdict, my thought process was like, and tell me if I'm wrong, and I'll get your opinions on it. My thought process was that everybody's lying so much that it has to be a hung jury. It's like everybody's come up and lied so much and distorted the truth, where Meg said they wasn't fighting, but Kelsey says that her and Meg was fighting. The guy who was the witness, the only person who actually seen it happening, says he seen a female shoot first, but then he says, well, but Tory did this and this, and then it's like so much mumble jumble. It was like they're all fucking lying.
It's
and you don't want to discredit a victim. You don't. But at the same time, it's like, yo, but the victim is over here caught up like in multiple lies, too. What do you do?
I just don't know what to say. I really like after a minute. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't keep up with it because they were trying to say that Meg was a dude, and that's why Tory Lanez shot her, and then all the stuff in the trial. It was just, I just feel like if you shot somebody, yeah, you gotta do your time. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but it's just, to me, everything on the news is a scandal to me. Like, I don't really care about the news because they have to have writers too. You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah. D Block.
So I'm gonna have to be honest here. I really only thing that I watched was the Gayle King thing because I deal in facts and evidence and things like that. So I didn't really watch or listen to anything else. I didn't listen to the YouTube blogs and people and this, and I did not follow the trial at all. Listen, the only reason why I knew that it was a trial even going on, because this was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So the only reason why I knew it was a trial going on is because of social media. Listen here. All the women with the BBLs was for Megan. And all the dudes that was trying to make their rap career was for Tory Lanez. And then everybody in between. And I didn't know what was going on. When they said he was guilty, in my head, I was like, oh, it must have been some kind of facts. Like, I don't know. I did not follow it, not one bit. I feel like the most outrageous thing that I saw, and I can only say it's outrageous because of the history behind it, but somebody on social media posted that Tory Lanez was the modern day Emmett Till. And I was like, yes, somebody posted that on social media. And I said, oh, you saw it? See, yeah. And I was like, oh, see, people reaching. Somebody always trying to go deep. Like super deep. And I can't really speak to why they said that, because like I said, I did not follow it. Just like Miss Kiki said, I didn't follow it. I'm sorry, I did not follow it. But when they said that, I was like, what? Do people know?
Like, do you know what
the story of Emmett Till? Yes. Like, did you go watch the movie Till and thought you was gonna do a trending thing? Like, I don't know, but I thought that was really interesting. And I like how, well, I don't like, but I feel like social media has made too many people have opinions that they think are facts. True. That's my thing with the whole thing. But could you please enlighten us on the trial a little bit? Because you were saying they were lying. Like, what were some of the
Well, so Meg said even on Gayle that there was no fight between her and Kelsey. And she said on Gayle that she wasn't fucking Tory. They didn't have a sexual relationship. She said that she was slightly intoxicated, but she wasn't really, whatever case and stuff like that, drunk like that. Okay. And what happened was, during trial, they had her own stylist come up, and her stylist was like, Meg was drunk as fuck. Meg was at the party kicking it at Kelsey's house, and Tory was like the last person to arrive. And when Tory arrived, Meg was already drunk as hell. Kelsey was already so drunk she passed out. They had to lay her down. And the stylist was there, came with Meg and Kelsey at the same time. He was like, Meg started getting upset because what's the Kardashian / Kylie kept asking about where's Tory at and stuff like that. Kept asking Meg. And then she sat there and said, when Meg gets drunk, Meg's an angry, aggressive drunk. So she was like, Meg was all angry and aggressive, and Kylie was like, I'm so happy you came over and stuff. And I got to know you because I just didn't know, I didn't think you liked me or whatnot. And Meg was like, I'm so happy because Meg was drunk when she said this. I'm so happy I got to know you because I thought you was just a spoiled little rich bitch.
I'll be damned.
So Tori there, they kicking it. Meg super drunk. The stylist is like, we need to fucking go because he can just tell. I'm respecting to say she because I know he's got a male's name, but he goes and carries himself like a she.
Mhm.
So she was like, it's time to go. So she was gathering and packed up all their stuff and everything, and then they were there, and then Meg was like, we're leaving with Tori. We're leaving with Tori. And the stylist was like, no, said, I'll take you home. I come with you. I leave with you. Meg was like, no, we're leaving with Tori.
Mm.
So what happened was the stylist goes, and Tori's like, well, yeah, just put the stuff in my car. I'll have my driver, because Tori didn't come with a bodyguard. Meg didn't have a bodyguard. There was a driver, though. Tori's like, put her stuff in just in my car, whatever case. I have my driver take him back. Well, they argued about that a little bit, but then fine. Meg was like, cool. The bags were put in the back of the SUV. It was like a Chevy, I don't know, Tahoe. Bags in the back, not in the back seat, in the back. Okay.
Mhm.
So they go and they hop in the SUV. The driver's taking them home. Tori's staying with Kylie. They leave. Meg's like, no, fuck that. Turn it the fuck around. You excuse my language, but I'm saying it how they said it in court.
Mhm.
Turn it back around. We going back.
Okay, so she was the only one in the car, and
No,
Kylie and Tori was at the.
Kylie and Tory Lanez and whoever was at the house was at the house.
Okay.
Meg and Kelsey were in the driver were in the car leaving, and they left. And on the way leaving to go drop them off, Meg says, "No, fuck that. Go back and get Tory."
Okay.
So the driver's like, whatever case, but she's getting irate and very aggressive. So the driver turns back around, comes back to the house. Meg comes in there, all out. Her and Kylie is like, y'all just gotta go. Everybody just gotta go. So she basically came in there, cop block Tori because Tori was trying to smash Kylie. So they're like, oh, whatever the fuck. So they all leave, arguing back and forth at each other and stuff like that. So they're in a car driving, leaving, and then they get into an altercation. They arguing back and forth, and Meg did say something about his music, but Tori's got hits, and he's got more hits than Meg. So he did not get upset that she sat there and said his music, whatever case, was whatever. So what happened was he said, well, since you telling all the business, why don't you tell Kelsey that me and you been fucking? Because Kelsey was fucking Tori first.
Oh, snap. This is as the world turns.
As the world turns. So Kelsey was like, what the fuck? Because Kelsey didn't know. Sad part, how did Kelsey did not know, but we had seen on the news prior in the social media, Tory Lanez and Meg hanging out a lot right before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember how I told you seen the Gayle King thing, how she said they wasn't fucking and everything? Him and Tory and Meg done been on vacation to Mexico, vacation to another spot, have been kicking it. The stylist even said he's dropped Meg off at Tory Lanez's crib. But she's dropped Meg off at Tory Lanez's crib late at night, like booty call hours and everything else and stuff like that, whatever. So everybody's sitting there looking like, this bitch just lied. Oh my God, they was not just fucking, they was fucking. Whatever case. So after the whole thing and stuff like that, so it gets down to the grits and potato thing. Kelsey and Meg are going back and forth because Tori told that they was fucking, and it comes to find out Kelsey was fucking Ben Simmons. Meg went and fucked Ben Simmons. Kelsey was fucking the baby. Meg went and fucked the baby. Kelsey was fucking Tory Lanez. Meg went and fucked Tory Lanez.
Okay, so it's a pattern.
So they start fighting. And this is where the witness from the guy who was the only person who seen it live, whatever case thing, they got out the car and Kelsey was beating the shit out of Meg.
Okay, so she was getting beat up. So where do the shooting come in?
All right, so Tori and the bodyguard get out trying to break it up. Kelsey, per the witness, goes to the back of the SUV, comes out with a gun, fires a shot. and that's what this is what the witness says. Fires a shot, and then when she fires a shot, and then everybody like, oh, what the fuck, da 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 da, and they wrestling whatever case to get the gun from her, or whatever case, and then that's where everything goes hazy, fuzzwire, because then the guy said that Tory Lanez and the bodyguard beat up Meg, or whatever case, but Kelsey said that's not what happened. They was wrestling over the gun. Basically, everybody was drunk as fuck except for maybe the bodyguard. But they never called the bodyguard to the stage.
Which is weird.
Well, the driver. He wasn't even a bodyguard. He was the driver.
The driver.
Which was weird. The prosecution didn't call it, nor did the defense call the driver. So that's what I sat there and said. It was so much inconsistencies from everybody's story and whatnot. That
you thought it was gonna be a hung jury.
Everybody named Mama thought it was gonna be a hung jury because it was like they're all fucking obviously lying and trying to protect themselves.
Or they drunk and that's their truth.
They drunk and that's their truth. Meg lied on. If there's anybody, Tory never testified, but if there's anybody that came out like the biggest liar was Meg and Kelsey, because Kelsey came and the first thing she said Tory shot her, and the first thing with the police, but then she said the police pressured her into that statement. Everything else, and the police didn't come to her till like 2 months before the trial. All this time for these past year and a half, the police never came to her till like 2 months before the trial. So,
it's basically it was a tussle, and to get the gun from her, and the gun went off and shot Meg in her foot.
People are saying it's so bad. It could be an instance where them fighting over the gun, Meg could have sat there and shot. The gun could have went off, and it didn't. It ricocheted and hit her foot. She was never technically, yes, in a sense, because the bullet ricocheted, hit her in the foot. She was shot, but nobody actually fucking shot at her foot, hit her foot. Bullet fragment bounced off the pavement and hit her foot, and there was never no nerve damage, like she said. Even the doctor that was called in to testify was like, there wasn't no nerve damage. She was okay. That's why her ass was in there in the club a couple nights later,
like
working and bouncing.
That sound like Youngstown.
Kiki, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes, it
don't do that.
Yes, it do.
Don't do that, Kiki. Don't put us on the map like that. We already.
This was outside. Kiki, this all happened outside the Silver Dollar.
Damn. I don't even know how to take that. So what was his sentence? Like, what was the punishment?
They didn't.
22
they got to do
years.
it this month.
Oh, 2 years.
They didn't.
22.
No, they didn't do. They didn't sentence him yet. It's in the January.
Oh, he could get 22.
He can get 22 years.
Because I was trying to listen on my way home. I was like, he gonna ask us about this Megan situation, and I ain't been paying attention.
Yeah,
let me at least see what his verdict was.
Yeah,
22.
22.
For that's bullcrap. Come on now, he ain't even killed nobody. Like, pay for her bill, and maybe put him on probation or something like that, or at least like
they're gonna kick him out the country because he's a Canadian. He like Drake. They Canadians.
Oh, he is a Canadian. I did see that. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Oh, look, T here.
What up?
Holla. Stop the pressing. How you doing a AAA without me? And my name start with A.
Because I needed 3 more Annies.
Hey Mo. You see how your brother do?
Well, see what happened was.
And I talked to him today, y'all. This is terrible. Hey Kiki.
She probably know about the story too.
How y'all
Did you follow Meg Thee Stallion and this Tory Lanez stuff?
Yeah, who cares?
Hey, Annie, real quick. Didn't you think it was gonna be a hung jury? Because everybody and their mama was lying.
I didn't know which way it was gonna go, honestly, because it was just like it was a lot. It was a soap opera. I felt like I was watching all my children, it was a Young and the Restless because they young and fucking restless.
Hey, she said Tory was Victor Newman.
Like this was crazy. Or it was like, General Hospital and Tori was Sunny.
With all that,
It was crazy.
with all that sex, I think Megan was Brooke.
No, Megan was Erica Kane.
Oh, you don't want to Bold and the Beautiful out here in these streets.
Listen,
You don't want to
no.
Bold and the Beautiful.
No, Megan was Erica Kane from All My Children. Now, don't do that.
I don't know that shit. I don't know that.
I don't know that show either.
I'm a CBS
Y'all
soap.
didn't watch the ABC soaps?
No.
Oh man.
Hey,
So that's what my
Kiki was
household
only
was.
allowed to watch Guiding Light.
Listen, that's at 3 o'clock.
I used to love that
But
Reba.
let me I don't know
Yes.
the CBS. I don't know the CBS soaps. I only know the ABCs. All My Children.
No, you know them because you said Young and the Restless.
I
Young
know
and the
the
Restless is
names.
definitely.
Y'all name characters. I can't name characters off of them. I can name characters off of the ABC. So what? All My Children was 1 o'clock. One Life to Live was 2 o'clock, and General Hospital was 3. And then Oprah.
I'm a decade and some change older than her, so
Yeah. So that's what Granny watched. But nah, that honestly, that whole situation
Tobacco.
was stupid.
Yeah.
The part that I really didn't like was why was it so high profile? It wasn't even that serious.
It wasn't.
To be that high profile. High profile is R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, what's the nigga? The other nigga that was touching bitches.
Oh shit. Oh, Weinstein.
Yeah, him.
Bro, they called out. Hey, yo, wait. They called out so many names. They threw so many people under the bus that was there that people didn't even know. Like Odell Beckham came to the party.
Right.
Nobody knew.
Oh,
Who
snap.
cares? Who cares who was at the party? We want to know what happened after the party.
Hey,
Y'all telling
wait.
me that you took 5 shots instantly when you walked through the door. Who cares?
Yo, Annie, why was the stylist like Meg made some fucking tacos without no rotel rotel that nobody ate?
No, the part that fucked me up with
It sound like it.
The part that fucked me up with EJ was he was like, yeah, she get a little out of control when she get drunk, but I was there, so I stopped her. Clearly, you didn't stop her good enough. It went further than there, my boy, my girl, my something. I don't know what you are, but one of them, okay?
It was wild. It was. I'll tell you, it was as the world turns at the Silver Dollar in Youngstown. It was
not at the
that.
that was on
Hey,
the
G80, I didn't know you was back there. Hey.
All right, so well, welcome, Queen. I'm sorry that you can cuss me out afterwards, not on air, please. All right, so next thing we're gonna jump into before we jump off of news and jump into sports is Elon Musk. And we remember how everybody was like, "Yo, how the hell Kanye lose $2 billion in a week?" Well, Elon Musk lost $200 billion in a matter of 2 weeks.
Dang, I wish they accidentally put it in my account. Shit.
Listen.
Yo, I'm going to say what Farrakhan once said before. If they can take it from you in a matter of 2 weeks, does it mean that you ever really had it?
Had it.
And maybe you need to get your money off the banking system.
Don't let AAA or Truth be worth 200 million. Nigga, we doing a withdrawal today.
Your old school style area somewhere in your backyard.
I think you on mute.
You're on mute.
She had a whole lot to say too.
And she's still talking. We can't hear her.
Shut up. You still can't hear me?
We hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Oh. It might be delayed when I put my headphones in.
No, you
okay. You cool.
You was over there like
I didn't even know I was on mute either. But anyway, this is how you gotta do it. Don't take it all out at once. Okay?
That's what I told him last night.
Don't be suspicious.
She said don't.
I said that too.
Okay.
Don't take it all out. Go slow.
Go slow. Yo,
Are we
like,
still talking
bro,
about the
if you could
money?
be worth,
What is going on?
how you go from being worth $400 billion to $200 billion in a
Sorry.
matter of a week?
You said how?
Yes.
That sounds like rich people problems. I don't know how you do that.
Because if you take
First of
$10
all,
out of
hold
mine,
Okay, that's where I was about to go. Black V, don't even ask me no question like that, because if $1.50 is missing, I'm calling the bank like, so who withdrew this? I don't see where it went. Who took it? Now
I'm
I'm gonna tell
disputing
y'all
this
real quick.
charge.
I had some oh shit. What the fuck?
The
You
hell
calling me?
flying around your room?
Is somebody stealing your
He scared the shit out of me.
$1.50 right now? Okay.
Oh yeah, look. No. No, somebody just walked in my room and scared the fuck out of me. But listen, I had some money and my savings at $300 was missing. And I'm like, it don't say where it came from. I'm on the app like, where did this go? Where did it come from? They was like, bitch, you owed us this. Shut up. I was like,
yeah, it's crazy when you call them. You be great as hell. I'd be like, make it make sense. And then when they make it make sense, you be like, oh, okay, well, how?
Okay.
yeah, hold on.
Oh, wait. After they make it make sense, that's when you ask them, can they remove the overdraft fee? But
no, this is what I got to. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kiki.
Watch this.
Oh.
You're on every show. When I put myself like that, I'm like, is she using me to
promote
the promotion?
I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it. So we about to jump into
but that situation though, that's just basically, I think that's easy because once we started getting chips and debit cards, to me, it's no longer out of our control. And I think anybody can get their money taken away from them if the government want to do it. They have public access, even though it seems like
it's once everything is built off of the hype around something. So there's no real actual cash or anything of substance to back it up. So
that's a whole nother show, man.
Yeah, that's a whole deeper one. So when you have that, it's just like, yo, like you could be the hottest nigga on the block a week and be worth $100 million, and niggas, you make another song next week and niggas like, we ain't feeling you, and now you worth like back to the $25 you was worth before. Is that really value? Is that really worth, or is that just always just hype? Where's the substance? Beforehand, what I've learned is this, and we all grew up around the same era. Everything used to be, in order to say you owned it, you had to physically have it. Mm-hmm. How many of us own an album anymore, or a record, or somebody's album when they put something out? We don't have it.
I just got my old CDs.
Yeah. Remember when we used to have your car? You have a big ass booklet of CDs or a case of. Remember everybody had a case of tape decks or whatever, and it was your tape. You can sit there and let your cousin borrow it, and we put the little tape in the other little tape thing and dub over it, record something else or whatever case. We don't own anything of substance anymore. Everything is just all about like, yo, you own it, but you don't have no physical ownership of it. And I think that's like the biggest thing that they've taken away from us is physical. Look at it this way. Now you buy a new car, and in order to be able to access the remote start that's in the car that you fucking own, you have to pay that company a fee every year. That's how they do it now in some of these cars. Like if you buy a Hyundai, in order to access the remote start that's actually in the car, part of the car, for the car that you could have bought it cash, you can't access it unless you sign up for their yearly membership.
Oh, well, I guess I'll be going outside and starting it first.
Well, they basically can't do that because can't the Kia boys steal the Hondas too?
Oh yeah, but they ain't remote started. They just stealing them.
I know, but I'm saying how you charging a fee for something that's easy access to steal? That's all I'm saying.
Because again, this is the world that we live in. They can't. If I deny you the actual ownership of it, the physical material ownership of it, but I give it to you, that allows them to say, yo, like you own your phone, right? But your phone ain't shit if you don't pay that monthly membership for which is your phone bill.
Mm-hmm.
So you own this device, but what is that device worth if you don't own the actual data or the plan that's required to operate? You can download music and stream music all day, but if you don't pay your phone bill, you can't listen to that music. Just think about it from your phone. You forget to pay your phone bill, but you paid your Pandora. But because now, unless you at your house, which is the Wi-Fi that you don't own, that you have to pay a bill for every month to get access to, no matter how much whatever the case on that phone, whatever you own on that phone, if it's on the internet, you can't get access to it, even though you own it, unless you paying a membership to gain access to what you're supposed to own.
Well, they can kiss all my butt.
Yes.
Because I just won't have a remote start. Next.
Yo, I'm about to go get me a Polaroid camera and be like,
But listen, Jabbar, before you go to the sports, because ironically enough, I like to listen to radio, what is it? Talk radio that is not per se what I would normally listen to. So I was listening to I guess it was like a Republican talk radio, because I be needing to know if they plotting something. So right. I was listening, and they were saying that Elon Musk bought Twitter to expose the Democrats because they felt like the Democrats was using it to do some voters stuff and try to figure out something. And so I would go out on a limb, and if they was speaking some type of truth, could this correlate to him losing that 200 billion? Because if you out here doing something to expose politicians, they're gonna get you back. So I wonder if it's some substance to it. And I was only listening to it on my way to work, so I didn't really get deep.
But no Republicans are sticking up for him to fight against it, to fight it. They control billions.
Yeah, the Republicans is for him. Yes, the Republicans is for Elon.
Wait. The Republicans like him because he's speaking the Republican thing, but no Republicans are out there sticking their neck out on the line like, yo, Elon is right. Elon's telling the truth. Yo, they're done it.
Because they don't want their 200 billion.
Take it out the bank.
What I'm saying is that what I've learned is this. Elon is not the genius that we made him out to be. Elon, what he is a genius at is marketing. Mm-hmm. Elon is not the founder, the creator of Tesla. Elon bought Tesla. Elon is just a genius at marketing. Elon marketed the hell out of Tesla to make Tesla be worth more than what it actual put out, what it actually has done.
And it didn't do anything.
And it hasn't done anything. Mm-hmm. And so, but he marketed so well that everybody bought in. We bought into the hype, the belief. And what happened was, you got to look at it like this. So in a sense, let me tell you how you're right. Is the left involved? Yes. But guess who the left used to champion? Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Because to them, space exploration, making the environment safer by creating these electrical cars. Who does that sound like that leans more to?
Yeah, that leans towards the Democrats.
Yes. So what happened was, when Elon Musk started getting in trouble and everything else, and he had issues coming up, he was like, yo, if I ride with them, because he thought the way was going the way of, he rode the Donald Trump way. He thought that he made a bet and he gambled thinking that this is the way we're going. This is the new thing. This is what the people want. And he leaned into it. He leaned into it heavy. What happened was, he didn't realize that his base people, his base supporters, all those people buying Teslas, I guarantee you, they don't vote red.
Mm-hmm.
They like their big ass pickup trucks. They like their diesel pickup trucks. They like their big gas guzzlers and everything else. Starlink and making the environment safer and everything else, those are all blue issues. He couldn't correlate because Elon is just a marketer. Which he should know as a marketer, but he didn't pay attention, and he got greedy because he felt like he was bigger than his product, and that's why he's facing the issues that he's facing. But also, if I'm being truthful, the reason he lost 200 billion is because he also, because he was just talking shit, and Twitter held him to what he was talking shit about with the deal to buy Twitter. And he tried to get out of it, and they were like, fuck you, nah. So in order to come up with the cash to buy it, he had to sell stocks of Tesla. So when he sold the stocks of Tesla, it made it lose its value. And that's how he's down $200 billion.
And he's still rich, so
yeah,
okay.
He's still $200 billion up ahead.
Yes. He down to what, 340 million now? Okay.
Yeah. What up, give it Scott? What up, Boom? Yeah, so that's just the reality of it. So I'm not gonna sit there and make it like because he screwed up Twitter and it fired everybody and everybody left. The main reason he's down is because he used a lot of the capital he gained through hyping up Tesla to buy Twitter because he was stuck having to buy them, and it fucked up the stocks and everything is down. Could it rebound? Yeah. It did. Normally we do sports, but it's getting kind of late, and I looked at my watch and there's no watch here.
It's right on the screen.
Yeah. So I want to jump into the main topic: normalizing the sellout. And when I say that, I feel that today's culture, today's society normalizes sellout. And I'm not just going to put it on black people because black people tend to follow the trends of everything else going on in society. I think society as a whole has taken the idealism because of capitalism, like we discussed earlier, that if it's making money, it must not be wrong. Like this is how we feel. It's that if a dude's selling drugs in the neighborhood and he balling and everything else, if he balling and he making thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, like, yo, that nigga good. And we do that. And look at how many people was mad at El Chapo. How many people champion Big Meech? Although, how many crack babies could he be responsible for? How many, how much drugs was pushed in our community and so many other things, but we champion it because they made money. They making money. If you're an asshole, but you making money, we excuse it. So, go ahead, Kiki.
No, I'm finished.
Oh, so I say that, and I ask y'all to you, and I'm asking Kiki first. Kiki, in your humble, honest opinion, and me and Kiki not fight, but we go back and forth a lot of times on a lot of different things, and I love it. Do you feel that we've normalized selling out, especially in our community?
Like, so selling out is basically meaning drug dealers get praised for money. Is that like in that? I'm trying.
Drug dealers get praised for money. Black people selling BET for money. Death Row, BET.
Yeah,
not BET, but Bad Boy. Every time we gain FUBU, every time we gain some type of traction.
Yeah, I feel like I feel our community shouldn't sell out. That's why we don't have anything, and because. Like, we have FUBU. Who was we had Fat Farm. We had
Carl Kanai.
This other stuff, right?
Right.
And now, like, and they were affordable and they would have last, but instead of continuing to rock on with our folks, we feel like, oh my goodness. And to me, we always compare ourselves to the white man's money. So if he's going to get Michael Kors, I'm going to go get Michael Kors. So now we're putting our money into like Michael Kors for what? Because it costs more. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that is a huge problem. And I feel like And that's one thing where I feel like Kanye West really spoke intelligently about, because he was just like, okay, we made it. Jay-Z called out Jay-Z and all, like a couple billionaires. We made it. All right, now let's build up our community. And nobody took that bite. And that's a problem. Like, I think it's a crab in a barrel when it comes to Black people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this person doing over and over when we all can eat. Like, why is it a problem if we all can eat? Why not eat? You know what I mean?
Boom being stupid. He just talking shit.
I believe that we should stop selling anything you own. Keep it until you make the maximum money. Because
ownership is a key.
Yeah, ownership. Because if we don't own nothing, we have nothing, and therefore we continue to be without resources to keep us thriving as a people instead of giving. They've been making money off of us. We built the country, and we're still giving away everything, literally.
D Block, you want to answer that? Answer also.
Normalizing the sellout. So I think I agree with Kiki with we need to have ownership over stuff, but I feel as though there's two factors that go into normalizing the sellout. The first thing is we are taught to get the bag. That's what we taught. We are not taught to support our community. We are not taught to, in the school system, they're not saying, hey, this is what we need to do. We're going to get together. We're going to do this. We are taught to feed into capitalism. We are taught to listen. The American dream is based on how many zeros is behind your bank account. That's what we are taught. So if you are taught that your main goal is to get the bag by any means necessary, then you are going to sell out because you have no type of value in saying, okay, I did this and I want to leave a legacy. Too many times we think that leaving a legacy is having money. That's what people are starting to lean towards. But I also think that it's not technically our fault all of the way. The other factor is the fear factor. Yeah. So before, if we go all the way back to when we had our Black Wall Street and we had our own businesses and we had our own restaurants and our own hotels, what did they do? They came in and they burnt it down. They burnt it down and they blamed it on this and said, this is why we came and did that. And that was a blatant form. But now, instead of them burning it down and saying we can't have it, they say, I'll buy it from you. So when they buy it from us, we think we made a come up, but really we don't realize that they're tearing us down. Right. So it's those two things that kind of make us normalize it, because for one, we're not seeing it. There's people who don't see it. They just see it as I'm making a personal goal, or I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that. And then on the other hand, the people, the powers that be that don't look like us, they're buying us out because they can see what can potentially happen. So I think that's why we normalize the sellout. I don't know if we really celebrate the sellout too much, but we do normalize it. Because I feel like we still call them out, but we still be like, but they got their bag. Like, we call them out, but we don't be like, I ain't gonna mess with them. We just be like you said, he called out Jay-Z or whatever.
Right.
People still gonna be like, but 444 was the best album. Like, it's still gonna be that but or the if or the whatever. It's never the hold them accountable. It's always the other flip side of it. So I think those are the two factors of why we normalize a sellout. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave it at. That's my final answer.
200, Alex.
So I'm agree with you wholeheartedly on just about everything you said, and the only thing I want to do is add to it. My thought process is, you remember the saying, if you build it, they will come?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What they don't tell you is the rest of the saying. If you build it, they will come, where they will either buy it off you, take it from you, or take you from it. And we see it time and time again.
They make sure we see it.
Yeah, they make sure, because what we don't get, and here's the thing, as much as I love the Charlemagne's and the so forth and so on, and as much as they later on wanted to admit that they got what Dame Dash was saying when he went on there and it was a big controversy when he would talk about ownership, is that ownership is more than just owning it, making it successful, and then flipping it. You're not wrong in a sense when you follow that model, because you're living the American dream, quote unquote, what capitalism is all about. Where you're wrong from it is the key to success for your people is continue to have that ownership, not even always on a bigger level, but even on a standpoint of keeping it within your communities, amongst your people, and having your people something to come back to, something to lean on, to rely on. When you go
something to get us out of the poverty mindset.
Yes.
What's killing us is the poverty mindset.
Yes.
And y'all don't want to do anything for us but feed us the drugs to get the money and then to make us smack that wall to get locked up. That is like the big, huge thing here. You know what I mean? And nobody's seeing it or opening their eyes to know, like, okay, let's wake up, y'all. Like, for real, it's all about us not being woke. And that's how everything becomes sell out. You know what I mean? Like, I just wish that, and it's not our fault, like she said, it really isn't. We're programmed. We are the bottom of the barrel people when it comes to race. And you know what I'm saying? And everything ties in even from the earlier topic, from the government. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all the way it's supposed to be, but who are going to be the people that's going to stand up to teach us? Like she said, in school, they don't teach us shit. I went to Youngstown City Schools. The only thing they taught me how to do in one page in a math book was to balance my book out and to teach me how to work for other people. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we could talk about it, but it's like it's kind of like stressful, because it's like, how are we gonna wake these people up? Because the people that's woke, and then you got the people that won't make a stand because they ain't gonna get it anyway, or they even look at the people, these dumb niggas. I'm like, the reason why they're not dumb, they're far from dumb. They're very intelligent.
They're conditioned.
Exactly.
They're conditioned, and it becomes frustrating. So I don't respect, or I get why, but I don't respect it when people want to call people dumb. I don't agree with it. I'm like you. Like I think it's counterintuitive to what we're trying to do. I feel that it's hard to educate our people, or hard to get them to understand. The thing is this, the man, and I'm not going to say white, because I feel that the man is more than just a white man. I feel that there are influential 1% black people at the top too.
Yeah, anybody.
Anybody. Yeah,
white man's ass is part of it.
Right. The man.
That's the true sellout.
Right. Has the ideal of that I'll give you the money, because the money is not what is the value. Ownership is always what is the value in this world. Ownership has, since the beginning of time of mankind, has been what is the true value. If I own this land, I can hereby dub myself king or lord or whatever ruler of this realm.
Money, power, respect.
Yes. Ownership gives you the quote unquote right that people, whatever case, abide by.
We look at cash as and we don't look at cash as a resource. We look at cash as a way to, in our community, as a way, once we get there. And then some people don't even know where there is. You know, I heard somebody say, man, I'm about to get 20 G's, and you know what I'm saying, get a house, I'm gonna have that stacked up. And in their mind, this is how poverty we are. 20 G's is just like, that's something like you could probably settle on for life. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Kiki, what's up, Boone? Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Hello, y'all.
I'm gonna say this before I let you jump on. Here's the biggest thing to us. They will always give you the cash, because you want to know why? If they give you the cash, they know you ain't got no choice but to do what, to give it back to them in the first place. Because you got to go buy a house and get the money back to them. You're going to buy cars and get it back to them. You're going to invest in businesses of theirs that they already have and give it back to them.
Everything that we own is an asset to them.
Ownership.
We never really own it because even on the cars, we have to have the insurance. On the house, you have to pay the taxes every year, or you grab that from up under you. So it's a lot.
The ownership is the key. And we got so caught up in, and I get it, it's the capitalist thing to do. And how can you not love capitalism, but understanding that it's a gift and a curse. And when you get caught up in it, it's like, yo, but they made money. Y'all stupid niggas, because y'all don't understand. Bob Johnson made $1 billion off of BT. Bro, BT was priceless to us growing up. You can't put a price tag on the influence, the structure it provided, the outlet, outreach.
Once it was sold, it changed.
Right. And so again, we only see because we chase. What did you say earlier? We want what they have. Yeah. We see the symbolism of wealth. And when you don't have it, you think you've made it when you chase what they have, when you chase the way that they dress. What is one of the biggest things, and I'm asking D-Block this, what businesses suffered the most once they sat there and got rid of the segregation laws?
The segregation laws, as in segregation of the schools, as
as well as the businesses, all of that, Jim Crow, everything. Once they got rid of that, the main thing to suffer was black business.
Yeah, it was us.
But you know what? What pissed me off is that black people did it to themselves, because I want to go ride on the front of the bus of the white people's bus when we had our own bus where we could sit with the fuck we damn please. But y'all had to make this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the mindset because I wasn't back in the day. I can't even imagine being like what we go through now as a people. I can't imagine how worse it was walking down being spit on or blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, that would have, in my head, that would have pushed me away from them. Like, I wouldn't even want to be segregated. But it's so many things, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got a white woman, you're like on a higher status. If you're a black man, you know what I'm saying? It's so many things that just, we could just go on and on for hours.
Y'all done went to a whole different thing, but segregation, it was supposed to be separate but equal, but people didn't realize that it was separate but unequal. So that's what happened. And you guys are talking about ownership, and you only talking about the money, but what it is ownership of the mind. They control how we think. If we thought differently, then we would act differently. They control that. That's what it is. They control how we think.
All of this ties into that. It's conditioning.
Yes.
It's the condition. All of it is
it's very conditioned. Yes.
So we're just conditioned to, and we said conditioned a little bit earlier, but yes, it's
that's the main ingredient. That's the main ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Main ingredient.
That's
Boom.
what it is.
I wanted to let you get a chance, bro, because hey, he was itching to jump in, and I know.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what he about to say. Go ahead, you got the flow.
He was typing the hell out of it.
He came in and leaned back like this.
No, I was definitely listening to y'all, man. I respect everything y'all saying, man. I just want to say that we fucked up. Well, we didn't fuck up. We was taught hate. You know what I'm saying? When you go into the slavery, you want to go into the segregation. You know, we was taught hate. And I think what happened was, and again, I'm only 36, so I definitely wasn't back there, so I can't speak for those people who went through all that.
Right.
But what I came up with in my own mental is, what happened is we was already being taught hate, you know, by them beating us and whatever, slaving us and all that other crazy stuff they did to us. But I think what happened is once we let the first slave go free, everybody looked at him like, oh, you think you better than us because you're free. And that's where it started. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this thing ain't got to go out in the fields no more. You know what I'm saying? Then we all forget that because we was taught hate, the first thing we did when we got free was go get us some black slaves because we was taught that shit. You know what I'm saying? So our first instinct was, now I'm about to go get me some slaves. Y'all niggas gonna get back in the field for me now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to show them how to get free or trying to show them how to live better, I think we stayed on that mentality. Now, when
I agree with you, but that started earlier than that. Then I'm better than you, because what they did is they took the light-skinned slave and put him
versus the dark-skinned slaves.
And we called them house niggas, right? That's what we was.
The colorism.
Right. Yeah, like if you weren't the color of a paper bag, then you had
Oh
Yeah.
hell! I
You know what I
came
mean?
back in this nigga.
Yeah, I never made the paper bag test. Yeah.
Right.
But no,
Oh, I
oh,
definitely failed the
savage.
paper bag test.
But no, so then when we go into the when we go into the community part of it and we start talking about capitalism and FUBU and Carl Kanine and all of our black owned stuff, I mean, like even now, like I couldn't wait to find Puff Daddy, P Diddy's,
Sean John.
Sean John. I couldn't wait to find his Ciroc because I don't drink white. So when he came out with the brandy, I couldn't find it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I finally found it because I was in Hennessy. And then I started drinking the Douce because of Jay-Z. Like, I don't idolize these people, but I definitely try to support black.
You wanted to
You know?
support. Yeah, you wanted
Yeah.
to support.
So when he came out with the Ciroc Brown, I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. I gotta find it. I finally found it, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? Which would push me off of Hennessy. Now I don't have a problem with Hennessy, and I'm not like you said, it's just a support situation. But what I think it is that, okay, I come from the city of Akron, Ohio. We got LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? This man's mom, I don't believe he know who his dad is. You know what I'm saying? And this man's mom smoked crack. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people in our community served his mom crack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, once he get into a certain level, you know, we looking at, oh, you got to come back and do for the city. But the problem with us is we wasn't worried about what was going on with him when we were serving
When
his
you grew
mom
up,
crack.
even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always
was a black queen,
True.
mama. Come
Mama.
on, Tupac.
That's true, but we not talking about, we not looking at his mom to come back to do for the community. We looking at him to come back and do for the community. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that we wasn't worried about what he was gonna do for the community when we were serving his mama. Now he up.
It wasn't we. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was them.
It was he.
I mean,
He wasn't we.
I'm
He
speaking
was
in.
he.
I'm just.
No,
speaking
I'm
in
just
general,
saying
like,
because I had my dad died with a needle in his arm. You feel what I'm saying? So if I was to make it to a platform, it ain't about that. See, that's where we're conditioned at. It's, to me, it's about.
So she's agreeing with you, Boom.
Right.
You talk about the mind state of us. It's not about.
Can
Go
I
ahead, Kiki, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
in Youngstown, because y'all know I can't keep my mind right. I grew up in Youngstown. I see how it was and where it's at. So what I would do, especially if I became a billionaire, I'm coming back. I'm putting up Walmarts and hotels and new places to stay and everything else because that's where I come from. And I don't want these kids killing each other because it ain't shit for them to do. That's about empowering the community. I mean, even though people are like, they shouldn't expect it from him or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like that is a due diligence and we need to put into our community because our community, like, let me take Youngstown for an example. We live in Youngstown. They
Ohio,
took
right?
all our resources out of Youngstown, and now we have to go to Liberty, Boardman, everywhere else to go shopping. So our money ain't even being poured here, and it looks like a ghost town, and our houses are being condemned, and nothing is going on. So for me, I don't think it was us who put, like, I wouldn't even look at the drug dealer who sold my dad the crack or the heroin. I'd just be like, all right, this gotta work.
No, but see,
I gotta make more jobs. So these kids
I
don't.
know where Boom about to go. I know where Boom about to go. Here, Boom.
This is not. I'm not saying that we are supposed to expect it, and I'm not saying that once we get to a certain level that we shouldn't go back to the community and make it better. What I'm saying is, a lot of times, this is where our mindset is when we talk about sellouts. When we talk about people who sell their company, sell their whatever to the white man to get more money, and then let the white man take over it. And now it's something else than what it was supposed to be when it originally started. So when you think about that, a lot of people's mindsets is, damn, when I was out here wearing these pants, high waters that I couldn't even fit, when I was out here wearing a coat or couldn't even find a coat when it was cold, y'all didn't give a fuck about me. Now that I'm up and I don't have to wear those high waters or them little ass jackets, now y'all expecting me to come back. Now, as a mentality, like you said, yes, we should come back to the community and worry about the kids because when you think about LeBron, he did the I Promise School. I got my GED off of this man. You know what I'm saying? I never met this man a day in my life. I never shook his hand, never, you know what I'm saying, spoke to this man or nothing. You feel me? But I definitely got something out of this man. So I'm not saying that he didn't do nothing. What I'm saying is what we do in any community, not just Akron, Ohio, or Youngstown, Ohio. I think 330.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not saying that people should come back and are they supposed to? And I think that they probably should. You know what I'm saying? Come back for the community.
I
and
think
make sure
that's the
kids,
problem. If that's the problem, we don't.
But the thing is that, again, like you said, that's the mentality. That's where the sellouts come from. And we look at that as a sellout instead of thinking of our own and looking at ourselves like, you know what? I didn't support this person as much as I could have. I could have helped LeBron become more than what he is today. Now, I'm 2 years younger than this man, so I'm not speaking on myself in general. But what I'm saying is us as a community, it's a lot of... So not to go too far off subject, but when we think about our Eric Gardners or people who was killed over selling CDs by the police officers, or we think about our people who was killed over selling cigarettes by the police officers. We think about those people, but we walk right past them when they selling them cigarettes. Like, get a fucking job. Or, you selling CDs, nigga, go get you a goddamn job. But as soon as they get killed by the police officers, like, oh, they always killing us. But we didn't have that same mentality when we seen them struggling trying to sell a fucking cigarette or trying to sell a CD. And that's where my issue comes. So as soon as Eric Gardner, who sold, I think that was the one. There's so many.
That was Eric. It was Eric Gardner for the cigarettes.
Okay, so
Eric Gardner with cigarettes, yeah.
So as soon as he become this major
icon, this popular
now
topic icon to go fight for.
Now we supposed to now all of a sudden we've seen him selling cigarettes and we told him to get a job. Now this man is an icon. Now this man is a producer or something. We like, bring that back to the hood. But we sat right here and watched you struggle selling cigarettes. Damn, they lost their life trying to sell some cigarettes. So I think that when he does become that popular icon and he sell his business, now we looking at him as a sellout. When in actuality, I feel like we was the sellouts by walking past this man and not helping him do something different than sell cigarettes. And that's why I feel like people do sell out, because when I was selling cigarettes, everybody walked past me, except the people who want the fucking cigarette until I got killed. But then if I didn't get killed and I make it, now everybody that walked past me expect me to come back and do something good for their community.
So it's a vicious cycle.
I promise you.
It's a vicious cycle.
You're in poverty. You know what I'm saying? You're basically, okay, that's like me. If I go out there and I start selling CDs, you know what I mean? You know, I'm going to make some sales for those who look out for me in public. Girls, you got it going on. I'm going to have my sales just like anybody would. But at the same token, I'm also standing in the middle of poverty in front of a store when they try to probably come in and get something to feed their kids or something. And they're like, well, maybe they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm looking at the overlook. But I get exactly what you're saying. But then I'm more of like, when it comes to my people, I'm more on a positive stream. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you have to look at it for what it is. Poverty is poverty.
Okay.
But and my bad, Jamar. Let me just get this last thing out.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So where do we come in at? Where does this start? When we start looking at everybody and we start looking at, like, you know what, you just as broke as I am, bro. Let's figure this the fuck out. Where do it come in at to where, you know what? Where do it come in at to where you got the car, I got the computers, let's go sell it. Savage know how to fix the computers. Jamar know how to program the fucking computers. Miss Lady down here know how to, you know what I'm saying, plug the shit up. Where do we start looking at each other and being like, you know what? Let's make something happen right now. Let's not worry about how much money Jay-Z got. Let's not worry about how much money they got.
It no longer becomes them. They just have the money to do it. So we looking up to them because, oh my God, we can't even fathom having that much money. You know what I mean? But yeah, exactly what you're saying. That's what we have to do. That, like, get out in a community and be like, hey, if you know, okay, like for instance, she's your business owner, correct? Or matter of fact,
I don't know who you're talking to.
I'm talking to you, D Block. She's writing. She's writing a book, right?
Yes, I wrote a book. Yes, ma'am.
I'm writing a book as well, and I'm not first as her. Like, whereas hers is way further along. Okay, before we even started the show, the best thing she could have ever did was, okay, I'll stay a couple hours. I mean, not a couple hours, a couple minutes with you and see what you need to know. That's how you grow. She didn't say, well, hold on, wait until I get a bio and on YouTube and I can sell it. She didn't say that. She said, boom, boom, boom. So if I ever make it, I'm gonna be gratitude to her. I'm gonna want to link up with her. Okay, we got these books. Let's see if we can get together and go in the community and show them that it's not that hard, just right. You know what I mean? So I believe it starts there. Stop trying to be better than each other. And connect with each other, because at the end of the day, and I can tell you as a business owner, when you're doing it on your own, you need people. You need people to educate you know what you're doing.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to help you stay an adult as well.
Yes.
As an adult, you still need a village. So I mean,
and we need each other. That's the bad part.
That's the main thing.
But the main thing is this. Annie is right. And because we got to wrap this up because Annie's podcast gonna come on pretty soon and she ain't gonna cuss me out.
Y'all got a little time. Go ahead, carry on.
Okay.
And I'm on here, so go ahead.
Okay. Y'all be getting me in trouble with Annie. Like she like my
boss. When he record on Fridays, I tap in and be like, it's 8:20, nigga. What are you doing?
I support every black owned
business. I worked the night shift tonight, so
I support every black owned everything but Annie. Fuck Annie. Fuck her so.
I hate this nigga Boom. I swear to God.
Yo, all right. Here's the thing. It goes back to what we discussed before, and this is I think one of the biggest words that's so underrated in our community, in a lot of communities, because black people aren't the only ones conditioned with this whole systemic issues that we have going on. It's conditioning, and we all fall victim to it. And what I hate is when we are so ignorant that we think it's only black people that are conditioned to fall victim to systemic racism or systemic socialism or systemic classism. All those things are built into the system, and that's how they keep the system operating. If you constantly think that the only reason all these white people are ahead, or these upper class white people are ahead, is because they just got over on black people, and that's it, you are extremely mistaken. They take advantage of white people.
Brother.
I get that, but that takes away from everything that we're talking about. You understand? Like we get.
No, what I'm saying is that
you said it was in our community. So the best thing that
I'm gonna come back to that.
Was him question, how did we start? You know what I mean?
Right. I'm gonna come back to that. The key way you start is understanding that the problem is bigger than just fucking you. Get off. Not saying it to you. I'm speaking in general.
Yeah,
get off your high horse. We are not the only ones who's being taken advantage of in the systemic issues that's going on. And they use us thinking that we're the only ones, or want to constantly just point the finger at a poor white person who's struggling paycheck to paycheck like we is, and they utilize that to keep us separated. Once you get to the fact that there's the bigger issue in this country is not racism, but classism.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with you, Jamar, man. I gotta disagree with you, brother.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, there are more poor white people in this country than poor black people.
Let me give you this. If that's the percentage, right? So if we look at it, let me just throw out a number. You know what I'm saying? These numbers are not correct, right? I'm gonna just throw out a number, right? We know it's what 3 billion, not 300 million people in America, right?
Right.
I don't know 300 million, but I'm just throwing out a number right now. So let's just say it's 100 million white people, and it's 30 million black people. Of course, the percentages of poor white people are going to be higher than black people because it's more of them. Now, this is the issue, and this is why I still go off of.
It's not more white people.
Would you what?
There, from my understanding, I mean, unless we're talking about now we blended in biracial, but from my understanding, there is more white people, and we throwing in opioids and epidemics.
That's conditioning. That's conditioning.
Okay, so therefore, but we talking about the numbers that are being. We talking about the numbers that are being conditioned. Now, a real fact, a real fact is that our interest rates are definitely higher, and that's a fact. If you go to a bank and you get a loan, your interest rate is going to be higher than the next race, and that's not even just.
Or you're not gonna get the loan, or you're not gonna get the loan because you're black.
And there you go.
I agree.
So there we go. So when we're talking about racism in this country, that is true. I'm not going to sit here.
No, I didn't disagree that there's racism. What I sat there and said is the bigger issue is classism over racism. There's not enough of us. There's not enough of us anymore. You got to remember.
But that takes you from.
We're not just the minority. We're the minority. We are lesser in this country than even the Hispanics, the Mexicans, the Mexicans that come in the country. There are less black people.
Yeah, but they coming in, but they also coming in, and they living together. You see
my boy
when they do come in.
Because I gotta disagree too, Jamar. I don't think it's classism. I think it's racism because
Go
If
ahead.
I
Go
walk
ahead.
in the same building that a poor white woman walk in, they gonna give her the job. If they gonna
I
give
know,
her the
again,
loan.
not
It's
dismissing racism.
right, but you said that it is
The
that you said
biggest
classism
issue
is
in this
over
country,
racism, but that's not
the
what it
biggest
is. I
issue
have to
in this
disagree
country
with
is
that.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The
Go ahead.
reason
Go
why
ahead.
you're getting hold on, the reason why you're getting disagreed with because that has nothing. You just opened up a whole new can of worms when we're talking about our people. Like we're actually talking
Wait,
about
hold on.
and selling out in our
That came on
community.
the screen. Y'all gotta let this nigga talk. You know he don't never show his face. Let that man talk.
Who is this?
My
I
brother.
can't see him.
That's my producer. My brother.
Everybody hear me?
The owner of the company.
That's Mo.
No, that's my brother.
Who
DA.
is this?
Go ahead,
Because I
Mo.
can't see him. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we hear you. Go.
Okay. I'll break this down to you hopefully as best as I can. We're talking about two separate things. But Jamar is correct what he's saying.
Yeah, he is correct, but it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Right. Yes. You guys are talking about two separate issues. So everybody's correct. It's just that somebody figured out in this society that if you understand that poor white people have a monopoly in the society, and if you can monopolize them and their mindset, that you can capitalize on that. And I hate to even blame it on parties, but most political parties have figured out if you can divide the poor white mindset and keep them on your side with racist tactics, because that's the only thing that they can feel superior about themselves for. You can utilize that to keep your financial superiority over a whole nation. So that's what he's talking about, and it helps that they think they can use religion, they can use racism, they can use sexism,
Everything to keep us apart.
right? So the poor white mind, I'll say, is the most vital thing in America, and it's been that way since this country was stolen. So I don't want you guys to kind of keep going down that path because you're talking about two separate things, but the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But even the poor white mind got 3 acres of land though, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing.
No, that's a fallacy. What you understand is the poor white mind is in debt.
Come on, fallacy.
And the debt helps build America because you get these. We'll just use your example. These people with these 3 acres of land, right? Okay. So you got 3 acres of land, and you recognize that if you're a farmer, the farming industry is the smallest industry in this country, and it's shrinking by the day. So if you're a poor white person and you got these 3 acres of land, what about this nigga over here with 5 acres, huh? What about that? So now, because you taught that you're superior over him, when you ride past those 5 acres, you got something to say because you got a thought in your mind that you're superior over that, and that should be your land. So the real issue is not about this poor white person having 3 acres. The actual issue is that poor white man having access to the police officers who could harass you, having access to the judicial system that can take that land from you. So again, you guys are arguing about two separate things, but you're trying to conflate it, and it's not meshing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then let's take money out the ordeal and just talk about rich in assets. I watched the basketball finals with Bron and Curry like 2000 and I want to say 16, 17, one of them years when they went 4 times back to back. And I'm sitting here watching the front row seats, and I'm sitting here watching all of these white people sit in the front row with New Balances.
With their New Balance on.
And I'm sitting here watching all the black people with $30,000 worth of clothes on. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, who got more money?
Wait. I'll say, and Jamar's heard this story before. Let me share.
Thank you. The people with New Balances do. We wear our wealth. Like
we do.
Hang on. There's a place in this country called Eastern Shore, Maryland, and it's the area that's in the ocean that hangs off of the country a little bit. So it's not technically attached to the country, it's in the ocean, right? So if you ever travel to this area, boom, you'll notice there's hundreds of acres of land as far as the eye can see, all farmland. And you ride past this farmland and you see it is all black owned.
Wow.
all black owned. You get to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and they have $100 million aeronautics campus on that historical black campus and university that nobody's ever heard of. You can't even really look up Eastern Shore on the map because there's no real reference point for it. But when you go out there, you see all these black people with land, with property, with wealth, and I don't see them buying Versace. I didn't see, matter of fact, the president of the university who wears a suit in 100-degree heat was out there shoveling stuff, helping us to do our mission work when we were out there. So, I mean, I get the fact that, you know, we're all on Twitter and we're all looking at these things and we see what black people do and we see it in our communities, but there are areas in this country, there are very, very large pockets of areas where black people are progressive.
Where they're woke. Yeah, it's like they're woke.
Well, I need you to hit me up because Viacom got me fucked up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They didn't tell the media down for me.
They want us to have the issues with the things that they want us to have the issues with until it's no longer progressive for them. So as we get ready to wrap this up, like what I love about this is that we all care about the same thing, the progression of our people. Trying to figure it out and trying to come to a constant thing. We can all admit that it's fucked up, it's not right, it's just the hypocrisy, the games that is being played, and there's someone who's capitalizing off of all the dissension, the turmoil. Look at this. None of us here probably run around sitting there screaming Black Lives Matter or riding with the campaign. And I can guarantee you when the people who started Black Lives Matter, they had genuine intent. Their organization grew bigger than they ever expected it to be, and all kind of other motherfuckers who came in with other intent got involved. And some of the biggest people to invest in Black Lives Matter was your George Soros and these other different people, because they didn't care about the actual movement and what it stood for. They just wanted to attach themselves to something to help continue the I don't want to say disenfranchisement, but just the chaos.
Not to mention the face of it. Not to mention the face of it came up on a bag.
Right, right. So
we the Chinese commercial.
Yeah, we all love our people, and we all love being black. But the only way, in my opinion, the only way we gonna think is that, for one, we have to be honest with ourselves as black people, but we have to also be honest to the people we love. And we have to be harder on ourselves and hold ourselves more accountable. Because if we don't hold ourselves more accountable and we continue to allow or champion the sellout, we'll continuously find ourselves where we're at or even worse. And I said that because me and D Block had the conversation about Deion. I love Deion Sanders to death. Did he sell out?
He ain't sell out.
Huh?
No, he ain't sell out. I'm sorry.
He sold out, and I'm not.
How?
Listen, our conversation was 2 hours. You better wrap this up. That Deion Sanders conversation was 2 hours.
I just want to know, how did he sell out?
I'm sorry. Was there some things that I agree with and disagree with?
I want to know too.
How did he sell out?
Because you can't come in preaching about our water is just the same as theirs. Our ice is just as cold as theirs. I want to put us on an equal playing field. And the minute, again, what did I tell you in the beginning of the episode? When you build it, they will come. But the problem is when you build it and they come, they will either take you from it from you, or they will remove you from the situation altogether. And that's what they sat there and they did with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders continued with doing what he was doing, and let's say that trend continued. Like Ed Reed, again, like I'm gonna shout out Matt Abrams on this. Matt Abrams said it best. The fucking National Signing Day is coming on, and ain't nobody posting about none of the niggas. If anybody signed to Ed Reed, if anybody signed to Mo Williams, if anybody signing Eddie George, anybody else at HBCUs, niggas have forgotten about HBCUs, and now everybody who didn't give a fuck about Colorado since Rashawn Salam and Cordell Stewart is now running around screaming Colorado and buying gear. They don't care about the movement. They care about the celebrity that's involved in the movement.
But that's with anything.
Huh?
That's with anything, though.
Again, what did we say? We've normalized the sellout. You just said it. That's with anything.
But I don't see how. I don't see. So you telling me you at your job right now, and a job in another city, another state.
That's different. That's different. I'm at a black
money more than anything. I don't care what you say. It's more about the money than anything.
All right, let me give you this. Let me give you this right quick. Let me give you this, and I'm gonna just leave it at this. If I got a little cell phone company I'm trying to push off, right?
You're going to push out.
I'm going to push off. I got a little cell phone company I'm going to push out, right? You come and work for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you nickels and dimes, right? You see the outcome, and the outcome that's coming out is I'm about to start getting over on people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really here for the company. I ain't really here for the people who buying my cell phones. And you see this shit, but you see that eventually I'm gonna blow or whatever. But at the same time, my phone company is just not good for people. Like, you know what I'm saying? People, they shit getting hacked. People get credit cards getting, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
So
right.
you get a deal from Verizon, who ain't getting hacked, who actually giving out good business.
Right.
You not gonna go over there?
No. If I can wait. Let me answer this correctly, and I'm gonna answer this honestly, 100%.
I'm black owned. Don't forget, I'm black
owned. If I came to you and I'm like some high tech, hot shot engineer, and I come to you and I'm like, yo, I want to change the perception, that's what Dion did.
But they wasn't trying to change it for him.
No, wait. This is what Dion did and said. I'm only holding Dion accountable to the statements he said that he put out. I'm not just holding this because you can't say it. It's different if you just sit there and say I'm just some young kid graduated college and I came and worked for you compared to I'm so high profile person and I came to you and was like, yo, this is about black people. This is about building black better. This is about Verizon. The ice ain't better than ours. Verizon water ain't better than ours. I want to put these black-owned company employees at the forefront. Give us the opportunities. I want these other scouts coming and looking at these kids and giving them a fair shot. That was Dion's words. So therefore, if I come to your company and I say that and I leave you, but I leave you and I go to start my own black-owned company, that's different. If I leave you and I go to work for Verizon, nigga, I'm a sellout. The white man came with the bag. It was like, nigga, yeah, I'm gonna let you hire some black niggas to come work for, guess what? A whole bunch of black niggas still working for the white man. It don't matter that you making more money at the black-owned company. It's not a black-owned company.
I'm not coming from the money.
What did we say earlier? The white man will give you the bag because they know that you got to come spend the bag with them. Stop thinking about the money.
I'm not coming from the money side. Where I'm coming from is, yes, you're getting more money from going to work for Verizon, but at the same time, though, you're going to work for a company whose credit cards are not being hacked. You're going to work for a company who not selling phones, where as soon as you log into your phone, everybody got your personal information.
Bro, if Verizon came to me to work for them, I'm telling them, you can do a deal with me where I'm ownership and we can make a better phone thing. But black ownership is the top priority.
That's our mentality. I don't want you to come change my shit. My shit is going the way that I want it to go. And if you will come in here with your high tech ass, come over here and do your shit the way I want you to do it.
There you go. So if you don't, and I leave you, I'm a sellout.
No,
I'm at your company. I sold you out.
You're not a sellout because you don't want to do it my way, bro. That doesn't make you a sellout because you're not trying to do it my way. That's what Deion Sanders is on. That's from my understanding. Look, this dude got his shit robbed 2 years before he even got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't know who the fuck robbed it, nor did they find out who robbed it. You know what I'm saying?
We talk, bro. I'm gonna say this. You are right. You are 100%. We're gonna end this up because I'm gonna finish it up. And when I cut you off, I'm getting you. We go end this shit off like this. You are right. Did he get robbed? Was it improper things with the money? Guess what? Those were all things that were prevalent, were there when he first went to the institution. None of those things are new. None of those things are new. None of those things are surprising. Like, oh my God, I can't believe
He
I'm
tried to turn
surrounded
the
by a
hoe into
whole
a
bunch of
housewife, and he
niggas and the
couldn't.
crime is high here. Bro, he knew when he was walking into when he walked into it. I promise you, we can have a whole nother podcast to set it
got
up
to.
and talk about this
Because
Deion
it was 2
Sanders.
hours long,
got
man.
to.
Y'all,
We got to.
y'all don't want to have this. That
It's an hour
conversation
and
was
34.
2 hours long.
Hour 34.
I'm gonna be in your inbox.
Boom, we can boom. I'm gonna hit you up. We set it up.
We setting it up.
D block. What I'll say this is this. I want to thank y'all, and regardless of it, the main thing that we talking about is about the progression of our people, the progression of just wanting the opportunity, the progression of taking ownership, accountability, and progression for our people. And I have no problem, like I'm sure none of y'all have, with holding our people accountable to get there, or admitting that maybe even I was wrong in my thought process, or any of us was wrong in our thought process, as long as it provides the opportunity that's conversation for growth and allow for us to sit there to help push and uplift each other. This is a AAA production / Truth Entertainment Films product. I want to go ahead and thank first and foremost D Block. Thank you for coming on once again. I want to thank
Thanks for having me.
Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding?
With them key earrings, them mugs is dope. Okay.
Hey, I want to go ahead and thank Boom, bro. I swear to God, I can't wait. Me and you gonna politic more behind the scenes and whatnot, bro. We gonna set some shit up and have some real conversation.
Part of that, man. I want to have a conversation with you and him on air.
Hey, we can do it. I want to go ahead.
Do not include me in that.
Hey, we gonna talk about how y'all women the downfall of us black men. Too.
Yes,
Lord.
There you go.
Okay.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
There you go.
Yo, let me get this out. I want to go ahead. My partner in crime, my number one, aka my boss, the one who sits there and keeps everything in check, who sits there and pushes me and cusses me out if I forget to do something. Annie, aka Savagely Humble, the host of I goddamn, I forgot the name of your podcast.
I can help you.
I got it.
There you go. You see that picture when she turned your picture off?
No, I didn't see it. It's so small. It's a Hard Not Life podcast. Also, Queens of Attitude podcast. Also, one of the executive producers on a lot of these shows. Everything from Pussy Talks to Deep Group Conversations. It is so much more. Shout out to D80 in the background. Yo, it's a blessing and a privilege. Hell no.
Shit, trying to go.
Is there a way
you late, bitch. You late.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it in the chat here.
Okay.
And shout out the queen of Pussy Talks podcast, CL in the building. Yo, I want to thank all of y'all for being a part of the podcast. And all we really want to do is not argue, but provide context and have real conversations and not just argue, but actually talk over facts and everything else that's going on and try to work the solutions. Amen, and that's what it's about. Boom, bro. I appreciate your input, Kiki. I always love your input. But actually, this is like probably the least we ever butted heads. Oh, D Block. D Block. I told you, I'm gonna pull you in, and you're gonna be stuck with us.
I would maybe.
Maybe.
CL. I can't wait. Pussy Talks is going to a whole nother level, and she is constantly growing. Savagely Humble, aka Annie, it's a Hard Not Life podcast. Look, she's so known on the underground circuit and highlighting so many artists and so many people coming up and constantly pushing the narrative of across a lot of different art platforms, not just music, not just R&B and hip hop. She does poetry, she does painters, she does dancers, she does so much more than just rap. And we love rap and shoes. She does beauty, she does fashion, and so much more. We want to thank all of y'all from the bottom of our heart as we start off 2023 on a positive note about growth and participation. We growing, we building, we love y'all. Thank y'all. God bless.
Hey, hold on. Make sure y'all tap in 15 minutes to It's a Hard Knock Life motherfucking podcast. I got some.
Give me the link. You know I need to be on there.
No, it's not. It's not for you to be on there. Just watch. It's just a watch episode.
Eyelashes is eating his
Hey, we
elbow.
doing Bucket Naked tonight?
We can.
Y'all want to do Bucket Naked?
Y'all want to do Boom, you come on Bucket Naked.
What time do y'all start? Because I can do it from work.
You can do it from work.
Yeah.
We'll
What time? Pick a time. Pick a time, Annie.
Till
11.
11.
I was thinking about 10,
Right,
15. Y'all know I'm old.
Are you old? You is old.
Yeah, well, we could do 10. We could do 10 because I'll be
Let's
done.
do 10:30.
I gotta be there. I don't know if I'll be there.
Just jump on when you get on.
Just jump on, Kiki. You know you ain't gotta be there as soon as it just jump on. So 10:30.
Send me the link.
10:30. I got you, Rico. Yo.
Nice
Boom,
meeting
you.
You
gonna jump on tonight?
Yes, sir. I'll be on. Just
I want to thank you. God bless y'all and good night. This is a AAA podcast brought to you by AAA Productions, Truth Entertainment Films. Thank you. God bless you and good night. And D80, go ahead and close us out.
Trying to.